cinnamon scented little fucks. Today, we're going to be swapping a driver's seat in a Promaster. This seat has 867, I think I pooped my pants in this seat. It's disgusting. Actually, it's not, it's fine, but it has collapsed. It is actually broken, and shit is falling. The foam is falling out of it. I have another one I'm going to put in. Swapping the seat, you may need to do it, you may need not, I don't know. But it's fairly straightforward. This would apply to all the 2021 and back to 2014 seats because they're all the same, basically. And I'm sure it applies to the newer seat as well. It has 3 connectors, 3, possibly 4 connectors. I can't remember. Electrical portions of the seat. And I suppose if you had the heated seat, which is fairly rare, you'd have another one. The connectors are for the airbag, because there is an airbag built into the seat, for the seat belt thing that tells it the seat belt is latched, and also for the parking brake. The parking brake lever sensor, I suppose, is just in the handle. It's just a single wire that when you do that, it grounds out and it tells the thing that it's whatever. The way the seat works is there's 2 bolts at the front that go down into the floor, 2 18mm bolts, and 2 sort of forks that go to these little sexy balls, and they sit over the balls. So the way you get it out is you kind of take the 2 front bolts out, pull it forward, and tip it up, and it comes out. But the hardest part about it is that the seat is trapped by the parking brake cable, which I'll show you how to get out. Let's go back and look at the seat that we're replacing it with. Okay, this is... All right, this is where we're going to be putting my fat ass. Actually, not my fat ass. Customer of this van's fat ass. I suppose I could talk about the differences between the seats, although there aren't many. There's vinyl. I mean, I don't think a cow died for this. And cloth, and the vinyl can come in 2 colors with a light colored insert or not. There is a factory air suspension seat, which is basically the same thing. It's just there's a separate motor that has a cushion. It's pretty slick. I have one. I'm going to put it in one of my vans. Here you can see the parking brake. And if I tip this up, oh, what else? All the driver's side have the adjustable armrest, but not all the passenger side do. By the way, the procedure to change the passenger seat is identical and even easier because there's no parking brake. The bottom of the seat, you can see how it works. There's just a metal cage, a pad of foam, whatever. I believe, turn on my head torch, I believe that the cushion is probably separately swappable, but I don't see exactly how it works. I don't care. Anyway, you can see the 2 bolts at the front and this forked area that goes over a little ball in the back. You can see, there's 2 electrical connectors. One's for the seatbelt, one's for the airbag. And probably integral in this, actually I happen to know on the passenger side, integral to this is a weight sensor on the seat because it needs to legally know if there's a kid in there. Because if your 30-pound kid is on the passenger seat and the airbag goes off, it's going to launch him into outer space and mash his little face. This with enough finagling, will this come off? I don't fucking know. Yes. This is the side cover is retained just by 3 T20s. I don't know. And the cable's going to attach here. All right, check this shit out for production value. I'm telling you, it's like you're down here at my feet. This is the jack box. This is designed such a way, I assume, for European right-hand drive applications where it's ambidextrous. It can go on either side of the vehicle. It contains the scissor jack and the useless wheel lug wrench. Take this guy out. Also, I've also seen, I don't know how rare or whatever it is, but there's a factory little tray that bolts in, can be bolted in under here, just a tray about the size of a folder to put papers and whatnot. Anyway, we're after these 2 18mm bolts, which are living right here. Was that loud? Did I hurt your ears? I want to hurt you. I really want to hurt you. Blondie asked, and I said, yes, I'd love to hurt you. Don't lose those. Those are 18s, by the way. Here we have the 2 electrical connectors. Hopefully you can see. This is kind of awkward. They will be, this one isn't, but they will be clipped up into 2 little holes here because they have a little locating pin on the bottom. Anyway, pull the purple back and pull, and it'll come apart. Pull the purple back and pull. You do not have to disconnect the battery. You probably should. You may have noticed I didn't, but I'm a gambler. I say I'm a gambler. Okay, now what'll happen is the seat will tip back, obviously. If I pull it forward, well then, on this particular seat, I've already had this seat out for some reason. I cannot remember why, but I just kind of want to show you how it works. So this is the parking brake cable as it comes up from the floor, and you can see it's got a double nut situation that jams it in this little hole here. Jams this shaft section, and that tightens it down. The way you get that off and on, as you would expect, is you drive the cable through it like that. On this side, where it connects to the bottom of the lever, there must be 50 ways to love your lever. Ha! I love that joke. The way this little hoop connects to the bottom of the armature of the parking brake is with these two parts. There's a little clevis pin that goes through and holds it, and this E-clip, or circlip, or whatever you want to call it, feeds its way into this little chamfer, and it goes over the end, and it holds it in place. All right, easier to show you back here how all this shit works. That, as you recall, that cable comes up, clips in here, and this is where it gets sandwiched down with the two bolts. The clevis pin comes through here. You can see I happen to have my clevis pin here, and it will come through the back like this. And then the circlip will grab it. It's going to be difficult to show, but the circlip will grab it, slide over there, and then slide over the end, just such that it can't fall out. And lastly, the electrical connector for the parking brake lever sensor slides onto a little tang under there, and it pulls off with a single squeeze and pull. And then, of course, the side cover would go back on with some finagling. Like that. And you can see that the other seat is out and tumbled back. The passenger seat works the same way. I'm now going to install it, and you'll get to watch me. Anyway. Gonna kind of put it in position and guide it down over the pins, its balls. Pay attention to the way the cable is. Get the balls in the slot like a lady I know. It cheats down, the little prongs cheat down over the thing. The two electrical connectors are color coded. You can't get them wrong. You could probably do this from back here, but you can see the clevis pin. So the cable slides in this little slot, and then once the nut is loose, it'll come up to there, and you'll tighten down the nut, and now the cable is secured here. The cable end itself comes up to the clevis there, which is then retained by the clip, as you can see. I should just be able to push this on without any tools there, and that's how it doesn't fall out. Two electrical connectors are color coded, you can't get it wrong, and here are your two 18s that'll hold it down in the front. You may have to fuck with it a little bit to get these to thread and start, because they are fine thread. Everybody complains about this seating position, but to date, I don't know of one place where you go to buy funky seats or better seats or heated seats or cooled or massaging or ball cupping or whatever they do. Okay, as you can see back here in the parts room, I got 3 seat bases. Are they all passenger? Are the passenger and the driver the same? The parking brake would be the difference. So that's obviously a driver's seat because it's got the parking brake there. Here we go. And that's obviously and that one's obviously a passenger seat because it doesn't. You got your 2 forks in the back, you got your 2 down bolts in the front, and it looks like we have, I don't know how many attaching points, 6, 4, who the fuck knows? I don't know. This implies, looking at this, that the slide mechanism is built into the seat base itself. We're gonna find that out when I disassemble this other seat. While I'm here, I wanted to show you this. This is a swivel seat. I don't know how many suppliers make this. You can get this as a factory option. This one is obviously made by whoever the fuck that is. Don't really care. So the way this works is it wouldn't go like that. I believe these are universal for driver and passenger. Yeah. I had kept the bolts for it. So somehow or other, that sandwiches between the seat base and the thing. That red lever locks it. I don't know, I may have it on wrong. But to look at it, how it actually works is pretty straightforward. You can see when you were to move this handle, it would unlock it, and then it would lock it in those 3 positions, 45, 90, and straight ahead. Pretty straightforward. All right, here in the back wall of the shop, I happen to have a very nice condition passenger seat lying around. The only difference is that this will have 3 electrical connectors as opposed to 2, the third one being the weight sensor for the seat. Obviously, the seat belt is attached on this side, and there would be no parking brake on the other side. The procedure to pull them in and out are the same, and the basic seat appears to be the same. There's quite a bit of variety in passenger seats, in the sense that this would have been a vinyl premium seat, more expensive than the regular cloth, but it doesn't have the passenger armrest. Now that's a good thing in a sense, because if you're fat like me and you got to get between the seats to go to the back all the time, you're constantly racking your balls on the passenger armrest. The passenger armrest, if I recall correctly, also doesn't have the adjustable height thing, where the driver's side one has the wheel underneath. And the passenger seat does not have the 2 little flappy levers. Again, many variations on the seat itself. The 2 flappy levers, one of them controls the height of the front of the seat, and the other one controls the height of the back. And I prefer that. And some of them have a little wheel for a lumbar support, which just kicks a little wiener into your lower back there. You know, seats technology, what the hell. Okay, well, just in the interest of making like the massively comprehensive video, because I care about your edutainment, well, what I'm going to do is take the seat apart. I've never bothered to do this. I've never bothered to take a seat apart and see what parts how it goes together and what could possibly be swapped out or interchangeable. Let's go ahead and do that. These are the flappy paddles that your seat may not have. This one brings the front up or down. I guess if it's bolted to the floor, here. See that? Now then you can, well, you could, like that, and then like that. That's how you adjust it. Is there anybody who's confused by this? I would hope not. All right. Well, that was a complete waste of my time and your time. But we learned something, just don't know what. Don't really care. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want. I can't see starting with this as my basis to build some kind of fancy seat. Why would I build off of this? It doesn't have any of the features I want. What I would do is make a platform into the floor that mates a flat bottom of a seat, and then that flat bottom would open you up to all kinds of captain's chairs and pneumatic seats from trucking. Man, if you ever get to hang at a truck stop that's got a demonstrator, sit in one of those air seats. Truckers really take care of their asses. All right, well, next week we got some shorts coming up. Some little, just the tip. And I'll see you then. Love you, Muffin. Bye. She's a goddamn lovely man.